hello, and welcome to You First. That's right, you. It is about you. This is the space, this is the place where it is all about the who is you. Yes, I am your host, Shawanna Kennedy, and we are here to talk about what it means to what? Put yourself back on top of the to-do list of your life because it is about you. In order for us to be a greater service to others, it has to start with us first. That's right. So at you first, right here, it gets to be about you. So if you want to tune into a space, into a place that has to do with you, this is it. So let's get ready as we get started to what? Make it all about you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'm your host, Shawanna, and we get to talk about that today. And I'm excited because I get to what? Partner up and bring in some experts who are people that are in spaces and places as business owners, right? But then we have the sometimes uncomfortable conversation about well-being, the uncomfortable conversation about self-care. What does that look like? What had to happen in order for them to then navigate to a space of saying it's not a cliche, it's not something that because of a pandemic, it is now have to be, it is imperative that it now becomes a part of their lifestyle. So today I'm excited to have gone and combed through the globe. And today my special guest is none other than Dr. Tiffany Anisette Pringle. Dr. Tiffany Anisette Pringle brings an array, a long, extensive resume. She is what? She has her PhD. She also has her degree and her PhD in educational global, specializing in global training. She has her own company. She does insurance. She's going to share all of that with you today so that you can get a peek in to see that she is a wife and a mother, right? She has more than one child, right? She has adult children and even a minor child. To understanding what that means to have to travel the world globally for training, but yet still have had to understand what it means to make it all about her, making herself a priority, understanding that she had to make the necessary, as we like to say here at You First, talking about self first, putting yourself first, navigating through that to say that you have to be the priority in order to benefit those around you, not just your business, but the business of who? The business is you. So help me welcome to You First, none other than Dr. Tiffany Anisette Pringle. Hello.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me on this platform.
Yes, I
Didn't talk
am
about this.
excited. Woo! So, welcome to You First. That's right. It is about you. And I know that you get to help people, right? I say we get to do it because God could use anybody other than us. So, because He has graced you to do so many things, uh, let's just go ahead and tap right in. Let's get right into that, right? Aha, a play on that you know, right? She is the what? Tiffany Anisette Pringle insurance. She has an insurance agency. So we're going to talk about that and how she navigates through all of that world. So just say hello and let everybody know a little bit about you, Dr. Tiffany.
Sure. So I am a woman of faith and I wear many hats. So let's talk about some of those hats. I am by first a mother. I do have three beautiful children, two who are adult now. They what they say adulting. So a 22-year-old, a 21-year-old, and then I have the 7-year-old little girl. So God has blessed me with those precious gifts that I've had an opportunity to be a mother to and still be a mother to, because even as adult children, they need their mother. My boys, by the way, probably calls me 2-3 times a day, every day. And my husband thinks it's excessive. But I want to maintain that close relationship with them as much as possible because I know there are a lot of parents out there who do not have the ability to talk to their children every day. Their relationships are strained. And for me, it's very important that I create the relationship with my children that I truly desire or that I've always wanted to have. So, yes, that's the mother hat. I am a sister. I have two sisters, one brother, and now two more brothers that I just found. So that's another story for another day. And I serve as a first lady alongside my husband, who is a bishop. So I have a congregation that addresses me
Mm,
as First Lady Pringle. Not only that, I wear a hat in business as an entrepreneur, having the consulting firm Inspire, which was named specifically because that was my goal, to inspire the audiences that I have a pleasure to teach, facilitate, and be there to help inspire them to live their best life, no matter what topic I am teaching. So that's Inspire. And just recently, we have Tiffany Anisette Pringle Insurance Group. I love this company, excited about this new company, and I help Medicare recipients get the best benefits possible for them. So not only do we do the health services, but we also provide life insurance and other wealth services in the financial industry. But I love these hats that I wear. And because I do so much, yes, I have to have time for me. My husband and I and Vashti, my little girl, we travel a lot. We infuse business and pleasure together. So we make the trips enjoyable. So if I have to go on a business trip, we're stopping at the local restaurant in that town. Or we are, looking for other opportunities to explore the city that we may not have known of. So we use it to our advantage, which is um, really how we merge the two together and enjoy working together as well. So, me time, I make sure that I have time to kind of decompress.
mhm.
I take days of doing nothing. And I have to practice taking those days because I feel guilty sometimes when I take those days.
See, wait. We have to pause right here. We have to pause right here because I don't know if you were listening. She was on a roll, right? You were with me. She was on a roll. She named a number of things that she is graced and God has blessed her to do and the people that are part of her life. But right when it was time to lean in to taking some time off, she put that big word out there, guilt. Why is it that? And that's right. I'm talking to you, you looking, you listening. Why is it that when we know our mind, our bodies are requiring rest, it's requiring that we unplug, we want to feel guilty or we allow ourselves to feel guilty for something that is needed for us to continue to be our best self. So I need you to lean in just a little bit because in you first and us being able to have the candid conversation, us being able to be a little bit transparent, right? Because this is a place where we're buddies here, we family here, right? This is also the place where you get to talk about who? You. So we want to lean in and then talk a little bit about that. Why? You got to talk to me just a little bit about why the guilt, though. Why?
So, you know that you still have things to do, and it plays in your mind constantly. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And you're thinking, when am I going to do these things? Um, and then there's some days where you're like, I don't have to do anything right now. I think I want to take advantage of this time. But although you're doing that, in the back of your mind, you're still thinking, should I not be doing something right now? Like, should I not be doing something right now? There clearly is something to be done that I'm not doing right now. So the guilt does show up. We're human, right? And when you have a propensity to work as hard as you work, you know that there's still some more to be done. But it is so important that you just give yourself a break. So, I would say for the month of December, I literally took a whole month off.
Mm,
And now we're in January. It's like, okay, it's time to grind again. It gives me something to look forward to. I enjoyed my month off, and now I'm in grinding mode. So that excites me too, because, like, okay, what else can I do to build success, more money, things that I desire? But it puts me in a mindset of work mode and get it done. And when I am in that conscious space, that's when I really go hard. So I like having those go hard moments. and take advantage of my downtime moments. So I'm learning that as I go. Not everyone can afford to take off a whole month. So, you think about that too. Am I wrong for doing this? Because that's not the norm. But I would say this, you do need a support system no matter what. You have to have that other person supporting you because otherwise there would be no balance.
So
And
what you just said, you said a couple of things right in there. You talked about balance. You talked about a support system. You being married, you also mentioning that you get your grace to sit in the seat as a first lady. For those who don't know, in look in the Christendom, when you are married to a pastor, preacher, bishop, right? They call his wife the first lady. She is the only lady. She should be the only lady. But in really for terms of endearment, respect, it is the first lady. And being a first lady, having other people to, in some cases, tug on you. So then that's kind of another something. That's another job. And then saying, how do you struggle, or what are some of the strategies? I want to talk there. What are some of the strategies that you lean into with your self care, with the self first, right? With the you first, with making you a priority? Because I know, I look, some of you don't know, I know what that feel like to have, be in the seat of a first lady. Ha ha ha. So a little something about me. Ha. And so I know that some of the pressure, some of the care, some of the concerns, even if you're not over a group, an organization that's a part of the church, but you still have the concerns of being your husband, right? When he's your husband at home and he's the shepherd while you're at church, but then having all those cares, but then strategy. I need you to help us with some strategy with someone who has the husband, who have the kids, and who have the business. What are some strategies though? I know you say, hey, I was able to because you lived your life. We talked about it in some of our previous other conversations. Is talking about living life by design. What is the strategy though? Let them give them just a little bit of a strategy there.
so, number one,
Yes, I know, and I'm super excited. So tell us about some of those strategies of how you navigate all of that.
so a strategy for me is compartmentalizing. I know
Mhm.
that's a big word, but literally putting things in compartments in your mind. So families in one compartment, church is in another compartment, friends another compartment, and business, and then self in another compartment. And I know I probably don't have it in the order you desire, but I compartmentalize those things and I work on the things that I know I need to work on first. I have a plan for each area, and that's what I focus on at that time. So I try to give my attention to those compartments throughout the day, throughout the week, as necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And when I am excited about something that has taken place in my business, I'm definitely utilizing self care because I like celebrating. So for me, part of self care is celebrating because it makes me feel good. And I celebrate in different ways. So it could be eating out at a nice restaurant or just traveling somewhere and getting a different scenery.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my daughter, we do nails together. We go to the salon together. And I understand that's um, really not self by myself, but I'm still taking care of self along with spending quality time with my child. Because although I want to take care of me, there's still a mini me I have to be concerned about. And she literally wants to be me or like me. So whatever mommy does, she wants to do. So if I were to go to the spa, she wants to go. So I have to intentionally plan things where it would just be me and she stays with dad.
Mm-hmm.
So I do make that happen from time to time, but a lot of times it's me and her. so and then it's me and him, or it's the three of us. So again, we're just trying to figure out how do we make time for just me and him um versus the three of us. And then we already know me and her happens often. And then how do you spend that time by yourself?
Yeah, how do you spend that time by yourself? Because I love, 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 love that you incorporated, yes, even as a family, being busy, having position, having responsibility, right? Because we know you cannot not feed the kids, you cannot not walk the dog. You have to do those things, and even having fun with the family, right? Fun and family, it goes hand in hand because we want to create memories. Memories, so much so, memories worth repeating. How about
Yes.
that? Memories worth repeating, but then creating those memories for yourself to say, I did unplug. I unplugged for me. I unplugged for me because I needed it. And I actually wanted it. I wanted it because I know I need that time so that uh, us being women of faith, knowing that sometimes God need us to be alone, that isolation or more preparation, positioning us for different things. You do need that time away, that time alone. So how do you squeeze that in, knowing that you have a mini me, knowing that because you get to navigate these waters with who God has positioned in your life as your life partner, right? Your purpose partner. What do you do when you say, besides saying, I already know come December, whether it's November, December, I'm taking the month off because you stack it heavy during the year. How do you do that when you do have that hour by yourself? What is one of your go-to things outside of, the mani pedis that you go to just for you?
hmm so I like taking walks um, because that gives me that time to myself, and I'm in prayer mode. A lot of times I utilize that time to pray. I'm an early riser, so while everyone else is sleeping, I get time to meditate if I choose to. So that's definitely an opportunity for the me time. And I also do this. I call this my me time. And it's usually late at night or sporadically throughout the day if I have a moment. I play word games.
Hmm.
And I know to someone it may not be considered time to yourself, or you're still doing something with the mind. But to me, that's my enjoyable time. My mind is still being activated. I'm not doing nothing, but I am enjoying the peace that comes with me focusing on putting words together or creating words, because that's something I enjoy. So I do the things that I enjoy doing. And I think that for me is what I call my me time. Even if it's, going to one of my favorite stores and just looking around, seeing what knickknacks I can get.
Look, that's another show for another day. Uh, if you know anything about Dr. Tiffany, she dresses to impress, and we know that I've teased her in look times past because Bishop, they really make a statement when they stand out. They definitely stand out, and so we know that she don't just be out saying I'm window shopping. It's window shopping to say I'll be back, or just hold this for me, I'll be back.
Right.
And but we know that for some people that is, it's called, what is it called? Retail therapy for a
Yeah.
lot of people. And to know that you get to do that, you get to enjoy that, even pausing for a word game is still not putting your mind on other things. It is in a form for a person, because I understand being a creative, and being a creative, sometimes we can't just turn a switch and turn it off. Because even when it's funny, because I know I've experienced, even when I'm not trying to think about something, it's like just because you're not thinking about it, now you're thinking about it. And
Mm-hmm.
and with me always, in the motion of creating content, working on other strategy, thinking about the things that I navigate behind the scenes, you really do, besides saying, I need to take something to make my body relax so that I just really unplug and make myself go to sleep, right? Have you ever just had to, besides being sick and life just saying, I don't care, I don't give a crap, you're going to sit down by choice or by force, do you really honestly wait, and you're forced to then say, I'm not, this has nothing to do with a word game. It's not about a mani petty. We're not on vacation. And you really have to then say, by force, what does that look like when by force you had to sit yourself down somewhere?
So my body has a way of responding, and it knows when it's tired. My body will literally shut down and tell me it's time to go to sleep. So I think it's important that we listen to our bodies. As much as we want to burn the midnight oil, it's sometimes not the most health is not the healthiest thing to do, because then that causes other problems. So listening to your body is so important. And like I said, for me, sometimes it's like, all right, you need to go take a nap, or oh, I get my naps in. Or it's time to go to bed. And
Well, hers are power naps. Let's say that for the record. They're truly, it's not just a cliche. They are power naps. If she's down for an hour, you can trust and believe that means she's about to run another 8.
yes, so sometimes my brain is just so full that I needed to rest, and I will put on some soft background music to help me get to that place of relaxation and go into that theta mode of sleep, where it is able to rest. When I sleep, I turn on motivational messages, such as repetitive things that says I am this or that. So I like to listen to a lot of I am affirmations while I am going to sleep, because I believe that subconsciously it's going to stick. And when I need to bring it forth consciously, it knows that it's there, it can pull from it in order for me to realize and manifest it in my real world. So I am constantly feeding my mind with positive messages, even when I am going to sleep or trying to get the sleep that I know I really need. I'm feeding my mind with positive I am affirmations. I am capable of success. I am successful. I am meeting new connections. I am worthy of more money, right? I love money. Money loves me. So these are some of the things.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? We have what we say and move to action on, right? I
Exactly.
love that because we can manifest certain things and we do have to move to action. So I love that you said it that right. And you know what the funny thing is, and I was like, I gotta come back in, I gotta get back in there because it needs to know it because we know, and if you don't know what that is simply is money isn't it just gives you influence. It allows you to navigate certain waters. We know money does not make us, it is used as a tool. So it's
Mhm.
being able to have those funds to navigate, to be able to go out further, to depending on what your call is in life, right? Depending on what that call is, you do need those funds. You need the funds to then uh, put the money, the investment, let's say that, put the investment where you know you are best suited and needed. And calling those things, but then knowing you have the mindset, the will set, the skill set to implement those things are important. Being
Right.
a look, she's a boss mom, she's a boss babe, right? With um, a strong husband, and knowing that, I think part of the self-care too, to me, in the back of my mind, being also married, is to know that you have a partner that allows you to still navigate those spaces,
Yes.
that does alleviate some of that undue stress,
Mhm.
because that can bring its own level of undue stress, having being married, let alone bringing, and having children as a part of that mix. So I'm so grateful that even though of course everything may not be always pretty as we prefer, but you understand, and I heard you when you said it's listening at ourselves, listening at our bodies, because I say it all the time when you talk about you being first and self first, by choice or by force, it will demand the attention that it needs. And you much rather it be by choice versus
Right.
life showing
Yeah.
up. And then
Mhm.
you say, oh man, wow, I had all these things that I had planned, but then God has another plan to say, you weren't listening at me. You were not listening. And I love again how you talked about it. So she gave us this strategy of how it works for her. She's able to compartmentalize where she put the important things, whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it's friends, and even for herself. So I'm excited that Dr. Tiffany paused in her day to just even share a part of her walk, her life, her journey, and lean in more on the self-care, the you first, her putting herself and understanding being a priority. It's okay. It is not a sin. It's not a sin. It's not a sin. So much so that it is. It's in the word of God. And if you want to know more, actually, you can. You can get in contact with either one of us, and we can show you by way of the word what that really looks like in the scripture. Because even our Creator took time to rest, to refuel, to do the work that was needed along His journey. I'm excited, Dr. Tiffany. And as we get ready to wrap up this self first, this you first moment, I want to know, what is one thing that you want to leave to our viewers today? So thank you again. And the mic is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. So, one thing I would leave is it is important that you listen to your body, listen to your spirit, listen to your body. They will always guide you in the right direction. And we only get one body to take care of. This body is your temple. What you put in it, and when I say put in it, that could be food, that could be messages, that could be um, thoughts, all of that internal stuff. What you put in it is what is going to come out, whether it is showing up in your weight, or showing up in your attitude, or showing up in how you deliver life, right? It's what you're feeding your body, your mind, and your soul. So I encourage you to feed yourself some good things. Feed yourself more positive messages. Feed yourself more healthy foods. Feed yourself more um, company, be around people that can inspire you more so you can feed your mind with better things, not only from a positive perspective, but so that you can evolve as a human being, evolve mentally, spiritually, evolving physically and professionally. So thank you all again for allowing me to share in this space.
I love it. We want to thank you again so much. Thank you, Dr. Tiffany Anisette Pringle, for gracing you first today because it is about you. I want to know that you are definitely loved, you are appreciated, and I would dare not leave this space without doing what? Letting you know that you already know that I cheer for you. If you don't know, that's power over mindset, power over me. That's right. That's pom pom. Power over mindset, power over me. And you have the power, you have the authority to do what you need to do to make you a priority in your life. Again, I am your host, Shawanna Kennedy, joined by my special guest, Dr. Tiffany Anisette Pringle. And this has been another episode of You First. It is about you. Bye.
Bye bye.